Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle onion drops from Shasta, Garcia. Now it kind of looks similar to some others. Well, okay, similar-esque. The beginning of it is similar to Echoism from Zentangle. And I'm thinking the looks of it makes me, well, because there's a lot of line work, and so it makes me think of, like meringue or garlic cloves, I think also. It's that flair. All right, but different enough. Now, I'm going to use the pencil because what's neat about this one, similar to like Echoism, is that it'll fit in any space you want in your tangle work. So I'm going to pretend that this is just going to be part of a string, a section, and we're going to fill it in. And like I said, it's similar to Echoism in that it's just like a bunch of S shapes. And I'm picking a corner to start. All right, we'll start here because that's where it's at. All right. Oh, and let's see. Let's start here, kind of tracing over a little bit. Move my... And you kind of just want it to touch here and there. Like I said, it can just fill in, and it, as much as you want. It also, we'll finish it there. In Shasta's Step Out, which you can find in the description section, she fills all of the extra area with orbs. So you could fill it in with something like that, or, we can always find other things to do. Now, I thought this was rather interesting, the way it was, the way it's constructed. So we're going to aura on the inside. And we'll do these bottom ones, these ones that are pointing towards me first. So I'm going to start here. And then, you see, I'm coming in. And then what I thought was also interesting is she touches the bottom. You could do, well, I think it would turn out different maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's like you could do this as a stroke and that as a stroke. But you know what? Why not? And just kind of starting at the one point and then touching the bottom. And even if you don't, it still turns out fine. And then sometimes when I get to this point, I will just put a line down the middle and leave it at that. And I almost feel like I'm just kind of scraping the bottom, so to speak. And the nice thing is that going with the "it just doesn't matter" philosophy, which is an extension of the no mistakes philosophy. It doesn't matter how you do it. I think kind of the squigglier, uneven lines, the more of them, the better. Or I would say the squigglier and the more unevener, yeah. It adds to the organicness of it. And all of a sudden, oh no, the other one's okay. I was like, I'm just noticing this, the line that's kind of created from doing this, over and over again. And I'm like, I didn't pay attention to it before, so I'm like, wait a minute, did I do something? No, I didn't. It's good. But yeah, see, if you have too much of a gap, just feel free to fill it in with a line. But so this one is nicely meditative. You could kind of lose yourself in it, that's for sure. That's also why I wanted to highlight the fact that you don't, the squigglier and the more even, the better, because then that's just one less thing that you're thinking about. You know, that actually kind of looks neat if you just left it with that half. That's kind of funny. But we're going to flip it and do the other side because that's the way it goes. But I don't know. That's kind of neat. All right. And then, like I said, same thing, other side. And if you want to know more about the inspiration and everything, you know, behind the name, that is in the description section. Again, the for more inspiration link. That's one of the nice things I like about the Tangle Patterns site is that almost all of the tangles that Linda puts on there, the story is shared or the inspiration is shared, and it's just interesting. But it's a really, you know, I've seen that this one's been around for a while, and it's like I've seen it before, and I was looking for something that's more of a pattern. I do like to mix things up as I'm presenting these to you. So we'll have you know, some borders. You know, there's a ton of flowery type tangles or organic tangles. Look at that. And so I do, you know, try to find yes, things like this that you just don't have to think about. And I think I'm going to go and put, I'm going to do maybe larger orbs. Maybe just to fit them in, because the orb is a nice contrast to this tangle. I was thinking straight lines, you know, which could be contrast-ish, but there's a lot of lines here, so I think that they would get lost. Whereas orbs, or just filling it in solid, that's another option, either with your pen or with you know, filling it in with graphite could work too. And bigger works actually, and I can't just leave that little gap there. But you know, look at, I mean, it just adds something to have something going on in the background. You know, maybe like the tangled cheesecloth could work, because that, I mean, it's kind of squiggly lines, but it's a grid, a very small grid. Oh, or maybe the Tangle Amaze. I wish I would have thought about that before. I always forget about that one until I see somebody do it. I'm like, oh, yes, that one. But just something that's, you know, maybe a little bit more dense, kind of like this tipple is, than the lines, and it kind of sets it off a little bit. But then we can do shading that will help as well. Ooh, and with the shading, you know what, let's do this. Let's I'm going to go along that line, and because I do like to do where things gather, right, where the lines gather. Let's try that first. And I probably didn't, look at how dark that is. I probably didn't need to put anything on here. But I'm just, let's start it one way. Just bringing it in. You know, and these, I mean, they do sort of gather at this end too. I'm using what's left on the Tortillion. Might need it a little bit darker. That darkness on here is just a little bit deceiving, I think. I was also thinking, I'm not going to do it, but you could add graphite around the outside instead. I don't know if in addition to would be good or not. That's like, yeah, I could have, but I didn't, so I'm not gonna. And see if we can just make it work. Oh, it does. And it could just go aiming for a little bit darker right at that base. Yeah. And then too, just another thought, like this, it kind of has a weird, like a twist here. So I could have maybe just done one side or something to kind of emphasize that twist a little bit. To pay closer attention next time. It kind of does, because it's darker in there, and it does kind of emphasize it a bit. But neat, if I do say so myself. Well, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. If you did, please click on the like button. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I just keep looking at it thinking, is there something else that I want to do? No, not really. But the more I look at it, the neater I think it is. Oh, well, I already mentioned the description section for finding links to the step outs, but below that is my link tree, and that has links to all my social media, website, places to follow me for classes if you'd like to join me for classes, me and a bunch of other Tangle addicts. And we also have a Tangle Addicts community group on Facebook, so you can join us there. There are 4 questions that you have to answer, just to let you know, in order to gain entry. And I'm trying to think of what else. We have lots of fun, so come and join us. A lot of the classes I do are free. Thursday, it's called Tangle Time. Those are free sessions. I have some others. One other that is free on a regular basis, and that is Tough Tangle Tuesday, and that is the 3rd Tuesday of the month. The other ones that are on a Tuesday generally have some sort of fee or are a part of my subscription club. So that information too is on the link tree. So check it out, and yeah, hope to see you live sometime. That would be fun. All right, so with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.